Hi everybody, welcome to today's literacy lesson. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend and you're ready to start up again with our online learning. Make sure you've got pen, pencil, whatever you need to write with, and that you've got your best listening ears on because we are starting off with our vocab blast. We've got quite a few words today in our vocab blast, so make sure you're listening really carefully. The first word that we're going to look at today is champing. I'll say it and then you can say it. Champing. Champing. Fantastic. Champing means make a noisy, biting or chewing action. You can see I've got a picture of a horse here who is champing. They are making a noisy, chewing action. They are champing. What are they doing? Champing. Well done. Our next word is oculist. I'll say it and then you can say it. Oculist. Your turn. Oculist. Your turn. Fantastic. So an oculist is an old-fashioned word for an optician, somebody that makes glasses. So maybe you've been before, like this little girl, going to get your eyes tested. Okay, so that's what opticians do. They test your eyes. So that's also the name of an oculist. That's what in the old days they used to call an optician, an oculist. What's this lady called? An oculist. Well done. The next word is appetite. I'll say it and you can say it. Appetite. Appetite. Fantastic. Appetite is the desire to eat. So if you've got a good appetite, it means you're really hungry for something. And you can see here that I've got a lady who's having a gigantic sandwich. She must have a really big appetite. She's got a really big what? Appetite. Well done. Okay. Next word, gnashing. I'll say it, you can say it. Gnashing. Gnashing. Fantastic. So gnashing is grinding your teeth together, and it's usually used to show anger when people put it in their writing. So gnashing is grinding your teeth together, which matches a little bit with the first word, which is champing. So that's gnashing. Next word, fiercely. I'll say it and then you can say it. Fiercely. Fiercely. Fantastic. Fiercely means doing something violently. You're being very aggressive. You're being very fierce. So that's why I've got a picture here of this wolf being very fierce. She is fiercely defending the other wolf. She's being fierce. Next word, heap. I'll say it and you can say it. Heap. Heap. Fantastic. A heap is an untidy bundle. So I've got an untidy bundle of clothes here. I've got a heap of clothes on the floor. It's a heap. What is it? A heap. Well done. And my last word for today is pesky. I'll say it and you can say it. Pesky. Pesky. Now, if somebody is pesky, it means they're annoying or causing trouble. So maybe you've got a pesky brother or sister that's always annoying you. They are pesky. What are they? Pesky. Well done. Okay, let's quickly whiz through those words again and see if we can remember what they are. This word means making a noisy, biting or chewing action. I've got a horse here that's making that noisy, biting action. What do we call that? Champing. Say it again. Champing. Well done. Now, this is an old-fashioned word for an optician, somebody that makes glasses. What are they called? An oculist. Say it again. Oculist. Well done. Now, if you've got a really big desire to eat, we say that you've got a good appetite. Say it again. Appetite. Well done. If you grind your teeth together, usually to show anger, what are you doing with your teeth? You're gnashing them. Let's say that word, gnashing. Well done. This next word means violently, aggressively, angrily doing something. You're doing it very fiercely. What's that word? Fiercely. Well done. The next one is an untidy bundle. So I've got an untidy bundle of clothes here. I've got a heap. Say it again. Heap. Brilliant. And the last one, annoying or causing trouble. Just like maybe your brothers and sisters are. They are pesky. Let's say it again. Pesky. Brilliant. Super quick, we're going to see if we can match them up to the right pictures. Okay, so the first one, we've got this picture here of a little girl in a chair and somebody is checking her eyes. Is that gnashing, fiercely, champing, oculist, pesky, heap, or appetite? Fantastic, it is oculist. What about this one? What's happening here? Is that gnashing, fiercely, champing, pesky, heap, or appetite? Well done. That's champing, the chewing motion. What's this one? Somebody annoying somebody else. We call them a very pesky person. Well done. This one here, we've got a lady about to eat a massive sandwich because she's got a very good appetite. Brilliant. Now we've got this wolf. She's defending the other wolf and she's doing that very fiercely. She's doing it violently, angrily, aggressively. This one here, we've got somebody grinding their teeth together. We can also call that gnashing. And the last one, an untidy bundle. We call that a heap. Brilliant, everybody. I know that was a lot of words, so well done for concentrating for so long. We are going to read some more of our story today. We're going to read quite a bit of it, actually. Before we start, what's happened already? Tell somebody in the room what happened so far in our story when we were reading it last week. Brilliant. So hopefully you've remembered that we met our character Jim. He climbed up the beanstalk, went to the castle, knocked on the door, and met a giant. The giant said that he loved eating little boys on toast, but he didn't have any teeth anymore. So instead, he invited him to come inside and have some breakfast with him. So we're going to carry on reading now. The giant shared his breakfast of beef and beer with Jim. Is your name Jack? He asked. No, said Jim. It's Jim. Did you come up a beanstalk? Asked the giant. I came up some sort of plant, said Jim. It's that beanstalk again, said the giant. It came up once before. That pesky boy Jack stole some of my father's gold and took our golden harp and our golden hen, and I've never really been happy since. And now I'm old too. I can't even read my poetry books because the print is too small. Oh, he looks very sad and upset. I can't imagine what it would be like to not be able to read properly. Haven't you got any glasses? Asked Jim. Only beer glasses, said the giant. I mean reading glasses, said Jim. They go on your nose and ears. It's my eyes that I'm talking about, roared the giant, banging his fist on the table. Oh, it seems like he has a bit of a temper. These glasses are for your eyes, said Jim. And he explained about glasses, whilst the giant listened carefully. Get 'em, said the giant fiercely when Jim had finished. Get 'em for me. I'll pay good gold. I'll have to measure you, said Jim. So Jim measured the giant's head. The giant gave Jim a gold coin, and Jim climbed down the beanstalk as fast as he could, holding tight to the coin. He showed the coin to his mother, but before she could say anything, he got dressed and ran off to the oculist. That's one of our words, oculist. Somebody who makes glasses. The oculist could hardly believe his eyes when he saw the giant gold coin, but he set to work straight away. He worked all night, and in the morning the glasses were ready. They look like they're going to be really big. Oh, wow. Jim carried them home. Then he tied them on his back and climbed up the beanstalk. The giant loved his glasses and began reading rhymes to Jim as soon as he put them on. "You're a good boy," he said. "Now I can see you properly. I wonder what you'd be like to eat." Oh no. "I can't eat anything much nowadays because I've got no teeth." "Why don't you have false teeth?" asked Jim. "False teeth?" roared the giant. "Never heard of them." So Jim explained about false teeth, while the giant listened carefully. "Get 'em," said the giant when Jim had finished. "Get 'em for me. I'll pay good gold." So Jim measured the giant's mouth. "Make them big," said the giant, "and sharp. I like sharp teeth." The giant gave Jim another gold coin, and Jim climbed down the beanstalk as fast as he could, holding tight to the coin. He showed it to his mother, but before she could say anything, he ran off to the dentist. There he is at the dentist. The dentist could hardly believe his eyes when he saw the giant gold coin, but he set to work straight away. He worked all night, and in the morning the teeth were ready. Jim carried them home. Look how big those teeth are. Then he tied them on his back and climbed up the beanstalk. The giant loved his new teeth. He jumped up and down, champing his jaws and gnashing his teeth until the sparks flew. Some more of our words. Champing means he was biting really loudly, and gnashing, he was grinding his teeth together. Look at how good the giant looks now with his glasses and his teeth. Then the giant sat down and looked at himself in the mirror. "Ah," he said, "I used to be a good-looking lad. Great head of flaming red hair I had. And now look at me." "Why don't you have a wig?" asked Jim. "A wig?" roared the giant. "Never heard of a wig." So Jim explained about wigs, whilst the giant listened carefully. "Get one," said the giant when Jim had finished. "Get one that's red and curly. I'll pay good gold." There he is, measuring the giant's head. The giant gave Jim another gold coin, and Jim climbed down the beanstalk as fast as he could, holding tight to the coin. He showed the coin to his mother, but before she could say anything, he ran off to the wig maker. The wig maker could hardly believe his eyes when he saw the giant gold coin, but he set to work straight away. He worked all night, and in the morning the wig was ready. Jim carried it home. Then he tied it on his back and climbed up the beanstalk. Wow, that's a lot of hair. The giant loved his wig. "I look about 100 years younger," he said. He put on his best clothes and danced about the room, beaming at himself in the mirror. "Marvellous! Wonderful!" he boomed. "I'm happy again. I feel like a new giant. And my appetite has come back too." Remember, appetite means that you're hungry. So if he's got an appetite, what do you think he might do? What does he like to eat? Oh no. The giant stood still and looked at Jim. "Fried boy," he said thoughtfully. Jim waited to hear no more. He ran to the beanstalk, slid down it as fast as he could, and landed below in a heap. Oh no, I wonder what's going to happen next. Is the giant going to chase after Jim so that he can eat him? I guess we'll find out later. Now I want you to see if you can remember what I have just talked about in our story. What happened next? Jim climbed the beanstalk, went to the castle, and met the giant. When they sat down to have breakfast, what happened next? What other things happened? Tell somebody in the room what happened next. Fantastic. So when the giant started talking to Jim, Jim found out that he needed some glasses. So Jim went and got some glasses for him. That his teeth were gone. So Jim went and got him some false teeth. And that he wanted some beautiful hair. So Jim went and got him some beautiful hair. And the giant, he didn't say thank you once. Instead, he said he was going to eat Jim. Oh no. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making inferences. Let's copy that word. Inferences, your turn. Inferences, your turn. Fantastic. An inference is when you use clues from the text to form a conclusion. So you're picking the clues out so that you can find something out about the character, about what they're feeling. So here we've got one of the first pages. It says, early one morning, Jim woke up and saw an enormous plant growing outside his window. How do you think Jim is feeling? Are there any clues that help you infer this, that help you figure that out? I've underlined some to try to help you. I've underlined early one morning and Jim woke up. How do you think Jim might be feeling? It's early in the morning and Jim has woken up. Tell somebody in the room, how do you think Jim might be feeling? Fantastic. So we can conclude that Jim is tired because it says it's early in the morning and he's only just woken up. Just like when I wake up, I'm still tired. If it was early in the morning, I would be tired. These are our clues, early in the morning and Jim woke up. They're the clues that tell us that Jim is tired. We can also make inferences by putting ourselves in their shoes. This means that we imagine what it would feel like to be Jim at that time. So imagine, close your eyes. You have just woken up really early in the morning. You've looked outside and seen a strange, enormous plant. How would you feel? Tell somebody in the room, how would you feel? Fantastic. So we could infer that Jim is surprised because we might feel surprised to look out the window and see a giant plant. We could say that maybe he's a little bit worried. Would you be thinking, oh, how did that plant get there? Or maybe he's excited. Oh, wow, a giant plant. This is so cool. At this point in the story, we don't know a lot about Jim. But if we use inference, it can help us to understand a character better. So we need to look for those clues in the text and we need to put ourselves into our character's shoes. Before we do that with a few more parts of the text, let's have a think about these feelings and characteristics. Then we're going to see if we can use inference to spot them in the story. I've highlighted a few just to help us. Thoughtful. What does thoughtful mean? Tell somebody in the room, what do you think it means if you're a thoughtful person? Fantastic. So thoughtful means that you're thinking about somebody. So I might say that Miss Hanif is very thoughtful because she got me a bagel for my breakfast. She thought about me and she got me a bagel. Ungrateful. If you are ungrateful, it means you do not say thank you for somebody doing things for you. If somebody does something nice, you're not very grateful. You don't say thank you. You don't care that they've done things for you. Tell somebody in the room what that word means. Brilliant. So that's ungrateful. Demanding. You must go and get me these things right now. That's what demanding is. You're telling somebody to get you something. You're not asking nicely, you're telling them to do something. So demanding means telling somebody to do something. Resilient. If we are resilient, it means we keep trying. What does resilient mean? We keep trying. Perfect. Determined is also a very similar word to resilient. It means that we keep doing something. We are determined to do something. We are going to keep trying until we get that thing done. And the last word is selfless. Selfless. So selfless means you're more bothered about helping somebody else than something to do with yourself. So you can see from the picture here that somebody is giving this person a golden star because they're more bothered about that person being happy than themselves. Hopefully, just clarifying a couple of those words is going to help us whilst we do these activities. So, let's make some inferences. That's funny, he said. It wasn't there yesterday. I'll see how high it goes. And he began to climb up the plant. Remember, inferences come from using clues in the text and from putting ourselves in that character's shoes. How do we think Jim is feeling? Tell somebody in the room, how do you think Jim is feeling? He's climbing up this big beanstalk. Brilliant. So we might say that Jim is feeling maybe a bit scared about climbing the beanstalk. Maybe he's feeling curious because he wants to know what's at the top. We could say any of those things. I'm going to write them in that box. Jim is feeling curious. We can also tell that he's feeling curious because the text shows us. That's funny, he said. It wasn't there yesterday. I'll see how high it goes. He's not bothered that it's really tall. He's not scared. He's going to see how high it goes. He wants to know how high it is, so he's being curious. We could also infer that Jim is very brave because he is climbing this tall beanstalk even though he doesn't know where it's going to. It certainly is a big plant, he said, as he went into the clouds. How do you think Jim is feeling? He's really high up in the sky now, and all of the planet is down below. When he's talking, it certainly is a big plant, he said, as he went into the clouds. Does he seem scared? No, he seems very calm. So I'm going to say that Jim is feeling calm. We could also infer that Jim is resilient because he's still climbing the plant. Even though it's really, really tall and it's taken him a while, he is still climbing that plant. So I'm going to say that he is resilient because he is still climbing. So now we're looking at how the giant is feeling. How is the giant feeling? The giant shared his breakfast of beef and beer with Jim. Is your name Jack? He asked. No, said Jim. It's Jim. Did you come up a beanstalk? Asked the giant. I came up some sort of plant, said Jim. It's that beanstalk again, said the giant. It came up once before. The pesky boy Jack stole some of my father's gold and took our golden harp and our golden hen, and I've never really been happy since. That is a big clue. And now I'm old too. I can't even read my poetry books because the print is too small. How do you think the giant is feeling? Tell somebody in the room, how are they feeling? Are they feeling sad? Are they feeling tired? Are they feeling happy? Are they feeling angry? What do you think? Fantastic. So he says, I've never really been happy since. If you're not happy, you are sad. So the giant is feeling sad. We could also say that he is feeling bored because he can't read his poetry books. He's got nothing to do. And maybe we could even say that he's feeling a bit lonely. last bit that we're going to do together. Haven't you got any glasses? Asked Jim. Only beer glasses, said the giant. I mean reading glasses, said Jim. They go on your nose and ears. It's my eyes I'm talking about, roared the giant, banging his fist on the table. If someone is roaring at you and banging their fist, what does it tell you about how they're feeling? Brilliant. It's telling me that they're angry. These glasses are for your eyes, said Jim, and he explained about glasses whilst the giant listened carefully. Get 'em, said the giant fiercely when Jim had finished. Get 'em for me. I'll pay good gold. Get 'em. Get 'em. Is he saying please? No, he's expecting Jim to just do this for him, so we can infer that the giant is demanding. He's being demanding. He's making Jim go and get these things for him. He's not asking nicely. So that is a little bit about inference. What you're going to be doing today is you're going to write some of the inferences in a thought bubble. And these are the sections that you're going to write it about. I want you to make an inference pretending to be Jim. When you meet the giant for the first time, how might you be feeling? What might you be thinking? I want you to write an inference for when Jim helps the giant. How is Jim feeling then? How would you feel if you were helping the giant? And the last one is about when Jim runs away from the giant because the giant says he's going to eat them. How would you think Jim was feeling then? So the 1-star challenge, you're completing the thought bubbles by imagining how you would feel if you were Jim. When Jim meets the giant, how does he feel? I feel scared, worried, brave, determined, calm, happy. Which one? You decide. When he helps the giant, how does he feel? I feel scared, worried, brave, happy, calm, or determined. When he runs away from the giant, how is he feeling? For the 2-star challenge, you're going to use the sentence frame to help you write a sentence. Sorry about that, everybody. I got a little bit cut off there. I'm just going to go back and recap what I was just about to say about the 2-star challenge. Okay, so the 2-star challenge, you are using the sentence frame to write a sentence about each of the parts of the story. When Jim meets the giant, when he helps the giant, and when he runs away from the giant. And you are imagining that you are Jim. So you will be saying, I feel what? When he met the giant, did he feel scared, nervous, excited? I think he probably felt nervous because he wasn't sure what the giant was going to do. I feel nervous because a castle, the clouds, a giant. Maybe you want to say, the clouds are high up. Maybe you want to say, the giant is scary. It's up to you. I think I'm going to go with, I feel nervous because the clouds are high in the air. So then I'm going to write that on my thought bubble. So that's the 2-star challenge. On the last one, it's slightly different. You need to choose what you're feeling. I feel because the giant could eat me. And then the 3-star challenge, you've got the word mat of all those thoughts and feelings and characteristics. And you've got the thought bubbles so that you can write down what you think you would be feeling at each of those parts. And I want you to give me a reason why. So I feel nervous because there is a giant in the castle. I feel excited because I am helping the giant. I feel terrified because the giant might eat me. You decide. And that's everything. Okay, so I hope that was all right. I'm sorry again about the video cutting off in the middle, but I just wanted to make sure that I explained those activities to you before you got started. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.